YouTubers have a high level of authenticity from putting themselves out there consistently again and again. Their audience really feels like they know and trust them, and this is why they convert the best out of any other platform to date. In this lesson, I'm going to be unpacking exactly how to navigate the world of YouTube influencers using an example from a friend's brand. If we don't focus on YouTube influencers, we're missing out on an incredible SEO tactic with evergreen results, as well as a great new sales channel. So in this lesson, I'm going to be using as a case study one of my good friends, Brandon and Justin's brand called Shine Armor. It's a car detailing product, which is a ceramic waterless product that cleans, seals and protects. And the brand is doing 8 figures in revenue annually now. And I actually met Brandon and Justin through Start and Scale. When we first launched the course, we ran a Start and Scale competition for the fastest growing brand, and Brandon and Justin actually ended up winning it. So we flew them from the US to Melbourne, and we've stayed in close contact ever since. More recently, I just spoke at a mastermind with them in Thailand, so we're all really close. And at the mastermind, they were telling me all about what they're doing on YouTube. So when I started thinking about this lesson, I thought, who better to have a chat with than them? So let's get into it now. First off, we spoke about the benefits of YouTube influencers over influencers on other channels. The most obvious benefit of YouTube is that it's evergreen. While Instagram's only relevant for a few days or a few weeks maximum, YouTube can be relevant for years. So when considering spend on YouTube, Shine Armor definitely sees YouTube as a longer term play, so they don't mind as much if they break even on a collaboration over the first couple of weeks or even the first month, as the results will truly show over time. Then of course there's the SEO benefits. Often YouTube videos will be the first organic listing to appear in Google, not to mention that 8 out of 10 Google video search results are YouTube videos. Keywords are really important on YouTube, especially in the video's title. A good way to get started on YouTube will always be to get some videos done by nano or micro influencers with your brand name and then words like review, most recommended, as well as how-to and tutorial focused content. So for example, Shine Armor review. Then you want to move on to some how-to or trend-focused content. Another good title that Shine Armor stumbled across by accident was The Truth About Shine Armor. Then you want to start to do some industry keyword research and find all of the videos that have performed the best across your industry or category and start to create content with influencers around these terms, or even for your own channel down the track. For this, you can use some keyword research tools here, and we'll suggest a couple in the resources section. Otherwise, I'd simply suggest using YouTube's Search Suggest feature, which will help pre-fill a search based off the words that you type in. Another advantage of YouTube is the conversion rate of YouTube influencers. Like we spoke about in our lesson on identifying the influential, it's the YouTuber's relationship with their audience that's going to move the needle most on whether they're a converter or a content creator. YouTubers have a high level of authenticity from putting themselves out there consistently again and again. Their audience really feels like they know and trust them, and this is why they convert the best out of any other platform to date. The most popular kinds of YouTube videos are going to be YouTube product review or product placement with larger influencers. This is because a lot of larger influencers, once they get to a certain size, aren't willing to do an entire video dedicated to your brand. Then you can also do joint giveaways, product tutorials and how-tos, unboxing videos, and then there are trending YouTube styles like ASMR or mukbang. So even though there are huge upsides to working with YouTube influencers, the downsides are definitely when it comes to cost. YouTubers are aware of their value and will want to be paid accordingly, as well as the time-consuming nature of influencer discovery and outreach. Here are several strategies that the YouTube pros have in place to reduce the cost and time spent around YouTube influencers. So let's start off with cost. Instead of offering an upfront payment, try to pay via an affiliate commission code. There are a few platforms that can help you with these payouts, so I'll put some links in the resources section for you below. However, a lot of the time, YouTubers are more interested in an upfront payment rather than an affiliate code, but just make sure that you negotiate on this one. Be sure that you don't take the initial price that an influencer puts forward, and so try entering into the collaboration for around half the price of their initial offer. I'd say that it does depend on the size of the influencer here, especially if they have an agent or are in hot demand. So be a little careful going in too hard on negotiations with really large category influencers so as not to put them off. Then there's the other option of negotiating longer term agreements. Even if you're not entirely sure that you want to enter into a longer term agreement with this influencer, it can be a really great way to negotiate. Right now, ShineArmor is finding the most success doing 4-week deals with 1 video a week to their audience over the 4-week period. The costs are lower per collaboration, and getting that continued exposure to similar audiences over and over again is yielding a great return for them. Lastly, if you don't hit the budget you were looking for and there's no further way to negotiate the price down, then you want to try to get a cross-platform deal through. For example, a couple of Instagram stories or a Facebook ads takeover as well. So that's from a cost perspective. Now let's go into influencer discovery, as this is a far harder process on YouTube than it is on Instagram. So of course we can keep in mind the 3 R's here, but I'm talking more specifically around manually finding the right influencers to work with. For one, ShineArmor is a very niche product, so only certain kinds of influencers are going to be relevant to speak about their product. Luckily for them, car videos are prolific on YouTube. The main manual method to finding influencers is via keyword search and by finding influencers who have done videos for other brands in your category that aren't necessarily competing brands. Sometimes channels feature other channels, but a lot of the time they don't. So there's no similar to profile section, but there's of course a similar videos section in the right-hand sidebar, which is called Up Next. And when you finish one video, YouTube will often go right ahead and play another. There are also often featured lists of influencers on Google for YouTubers, but these will be far larger YouTubers. So manual search via keywords is going to be the key. At ShineArmor, they have 2 full-time VAs going through list building, pulling the YouTubers' emails, and keeping track of who they're reaching out to. So even though the discovery component will differ from Instagram here, you can still use a similar influencer outreach flow to the one that we discussed in our lesson on scaling micro-influencers. Brandon says that they currently collaborate with 4 to 5 larger influencers monthly and up to 100 micro unpaid YouTube sendouts a month. So moving on to the outreach itself, it's pretty fine to use a pretty standard template here that basically goes, hey, we love your channel, we have a product that's X, we really think your audience would love this and we'd love to discuss a collaboration. When it comes to briefing the influencer on what to do, for a long time, ShineArmor really left it up to the YouTuber, but they've realized now that they know what works. They're running all their paid media, so now they'll give the influencer some level of guidance. This could be our video review format that we discussed earlier, so having the influencer highlight their problem and your product as a solution to that problem. But right now, ShineArmor has simply been getting them to focus on the 3 main features of the product. So for ShineArmor, that's how it cleans, shines, and protects. Then they leave it entirely up to the influencer on their creative side, so however the influencer wants to position and style it. At the end of the day, the YouTuber knows their audience the best, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they know what will sell your product the best. So give them a couple of talking points and let them do the rest. Just make sure that they still have fun with it so as not to lose authenticity, as the YouTuber's audience can see straight through things better than any other audience. So if the YouTuber isn't that into it, they're going to see straight through it. In terms of tracking for YouTube collaborations, another huge pro on YouTube is that you can simply add a trackable link or a link straight from your commission tracking platform to YouTube videos. Make sure this is always the first link, or at least always above the fold. Ideally for smaller influencers, you'll want your link to be the only link. However, this can't always be the case when it comes to larger influencers. This means you won't always need to discount, but you'll still of course need some kind of offer. For example, a free gift with purchase. For ShineArmor, Brandon says that they love the buy one get one or BOGO offer or bundle offers for a higher AOV. Ideally, you want the influencer to include some scarcity into the offer to help solicit a direct response, like limited time offer for my audience only. One of the main reasons I wanted to use ShineArmor as a case study, outside of the fact that they're such open, honest, smart guys, is their YouTube funnel. ShineArmor creates custom landers that are geared toward that influencer with their logo, language, and style. This way it still feels platform native, like they've barely left their YouTube channel, and helps to leverage their trust and relationship with the audience that step further. From there, they'll always retarget the visitors of this lander with custom ad creative, still using the influencer's style and the same offer. For example, influencer's BOGO is only available for 4 more hours, or after that, influencer's BOGO has been extended for X amount of time, or even later down the track, influencer's BOGO is back due to popular demand. And they even customize their abandoned cart emails in the same way. All of this is leveraging both the relationship with the influencer as well as the familiar. So you want to get as granular as you can here. Finally, in terms of results, despite the fact that paid Facebook is still their highest converting channel, YouTube is now driving over 15% of all social traffic to their website. Most of their paid campaigns are pushing a 2 to 3 times return on ad spend in the first few weeks of the campaign alone, and they only started pushing hard on YouTube a few months ago, and only really in the last month or so with their longer term deals. So hopefully that added some value for you. I always love the case study format as it's a really great way to unpack everything in a really actionable way.
The Founder mission is to help you create an ass-kicking business and help you learn straight from the mouths of world-class founders. Get your free printed edition of Founder Magazine featuring Sir Richard Branson. Just cover shipping and handling at founder.com/Branson.